स्वागत करते हैं। आत्मनिर्भर भारत इन एरोस्पेस एंड डिफेंस सेमिनार कुछ ही समय में शुरू होने जा रहा है। तब आप सभी से हम निवेदन करते हैं कि आप अपना स्थान ग्रहण करें और साथ ही साथ सुरक्षा और अनुशासन के लिहाज से आप अपने स्थान पर ही बैठे रहेंगे और अपना मोबाइल साइलेंट मोड या वाइब्रेटिंग मोड पर रख देंगे। जो हमारे साथ बाद में जुड़े हैं उन सभी से हम नम्र निवेदन करते हैं कि अपना मोबाइल फोन साइलेंट मोड या वाइब्रेटिंग मोड पर रख दें। प्लीज डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू पुट योर मोबाइल फोन्स ऑन साइलेंट मोड or vibrating mode. It's indeed a pleasure to welcome each one of you in this August gathering and significant event of today, the second day of Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference's Central Region, Vadodara. विकल्प बहुत मिलेंगे रास्ता भटकाने के लिए, संकल्प एक ही काफी है मंजिल तक पहुंचने के लिए। वडोदरा की इस ऐतिहासिक और ज्ञानमयी धरा पर जीएसएफसी यूनिवर्सिटी के इस भव्य ऑडिटोरियम में उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों, रक्षा विशेषज्ञों, उद्योगपतियों और भविष्य के निर्माताओं का मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूं, अभिनंदन करती हूं। आज हम सब यहाँ भारत को रक्षा और एयर स्पेस के क्षेत्र में स्वावलंबी बनाने के एक महासंकल्प के साथ एकत्रित हुए हैं। आज के इस विशेष सेमिनार का विषय है आत्मनिर्भर भारत इन एरोस्पेस एंड डिफेंस। Distinguished guests, a very good morning to all of you. It is ultimate privilege to welcome our elite dignitaries on stage in accordance with the protocol. As we await the arrival of our Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh sir, who will be gracing this event after some time. But before that, we shall begin with the panel discussion of today. And in order to grace the stage, foremost I welcome on stage Shri K.C. Sampath sir, MD Index B and Additional Commissioner, Gujarat. Welcome, sir. Can we welcome him with a round of applause? Thank you. We welcome on stage Dr. Chandrika Kaushik, Distinguished Scientist and Director General, PCNSI DRDO. Welcome, madam. Shri Hansraj Gajera, General Secretary, Laghu Udyog Bharati. Welcome, sir. Air Commodore Gyandeep Singh, Directorate of Aerospace Design, Air Headquarters, Indian Air Force. Welcome, sir. Commodore Manish Tripathi, Chief Technology Officer, Systems, IIT, Gandhinagar. Welcome, sir. And Mr. Harsh Rautela, Program Head India, C295, Tata Advanced Systems Limited. Welcome, sir. Foremost, in order to welcome all these esteemed guests on the dais, I request Shri Yagnesh Pavagari, Assistant Industries Commissioner, to kindly welcome the esteemed guests over here. Thank you very much, sir. Now, in order to begin the day and to set the context of this important seminar on the second day of Vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference, I would like to welcome Shri K.C. Sampath sir, MD Index DB and Additional Commissioner, Gujarat. In order we set the context, I request you to welcome him once again with a round of applause. Thank you.
Very good morning to all of you. Namaskar. We have our esteemed guest and you are all welcome over here. This is a very important seminar and our Honorable Raksha Mantri ji will also be gracing this seminar. So this is very important for all of us, and as we know, Gujarat is marching ahead for the defense manufacturing, and today we have with us Dr. Chandrika Kaushik, DS and DG DRDO. I welcome ma'am to here. Shri Hansraj Gajera, General Secretary Laghu Udyog Bharati, Air Commodore Gyandeep Singh ji, Commodore Manish Tripathi ji, Shri Kalpesh Vadra, Pro VC, Rashtriya Raksha Shakti University, Air Commodore Jayanta Kumar Sahu, Mr. Srinivas K, General Manager Bell, distinguished dignitaries, representative from the industries, MSMEs, startups, academia, and all participants. Again, a very warm welcome to all of you in this warm morning. It's a privilege to be part of this seminar on Aatmanirbhar Bharat in Aerospace and Defense being held at GSFC University. This seminar will bring together the key stakeholder across the government, defense forces, industries, MSMEs, startups, academia, and we will deliberate on building an Aatmanirbhar and globally competitive aerospace and defense ecosystem. As we know, Vadodara is becoming a hub, we can say a corridor, a defense corridor, Vadodara Anand. So this is a very important day when we are here in Vadodara. India's defense production has reached almost 1.7 to 1.8 lakh crore, growing almost 4 times for the last decade. Defense exports have also grown. Yesterday, I witnessed in this hall itself, Aatmanirbharta, particularly how to reduce imports in various sectors, and one of the key sector yesterday discussed by respected Adhya sir and respected Bhadu sir was also present, how to reduce the imports, how to be self-reliant in all the sectors, and the focus is that of defense sector. Almost, as I said, exports have also grown to 35,000 to 38,000 crores, which is from the past decade, it is almost 20 times, we can say 20x. Today, a significant portion of defense requirement is met through domestic production, highlighting the steady progress towards self-reliance and indigenization. This ecosystem is now increasing participation from the industries, from the MSMEs, startups, and as we know, it is all supported by Make in India, Aatmanirbhar Bharat, various policies and schemes, along with IDEX and other innovation-driven policies and programs. There is a growing emphasis on advanced technologies, including aerospace system, drones, electronics, cybersecurity, next-generation manufacturing, along with a strong push for global partnership and exports. As you might be knowing, government of Gujarat has come up with a very dynamic Viksit Gujarat 2026 industrial policy. And in that, an emphasis is given to the startups, to the all the MSMEs who are into defense manufacturing. Again, emphasis is given to the first of its kind projects or novel projects. First 5 novel projects, there has been a special provision has been kept in that particular policy. Gujarat Aerospace and Defense Policy is also there, Viksit Gujarat Industrial Policy 2026, as I mentioned, which is encouraging the investment, innovations, and manufacturing growth. We know that we have a strong presence here of various firms like Tata Advanced System, Larsen and Toubro, supported by a vibrant MSME network and growing startup ecosystem. From this seminar, we expect a strong collaborations among the stakeholders, increasing participations of MSME startups and academia with a clear outcome for strengthening India's indigenous defense capabilities. We expect that this platform will definitely put a meaningful partnership, deeper industry engagement, tangible progress in achieving the vision of Aatmanirbhar Bharat in aerospace and defense sector. With these words, I again welcome you all here, all the dignitaries on the dais, all the participants, all the MSMEs, all the industries, academia. You are most welcome, and we will deliberate throughout the time. We will be deliberating about how to be Aatmanirbhar in defense and aerospace sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your warm welcome words and also for setting the context of today's event. रक्षा उत्पादन में हमारे सूक्ष्म, लघु और मध्यम उद्योग यानी MSMEs रीढ़ की हड्डी की तरह हैं। इसी विषय पर चर्चा के लिए मैं बेहद आदर के साथ आमंत्रित करती हूँ श्री हंसराज गजेरा, जनरल सेक्रेटरी लघु उद्योग भारती को, कि हमें संबोधित करें रोल ऑफ MSMEs इन डिफेंस इंडिजिनाइजेशंस पर। थैंक यू। वेलकम सर।
નમસ્કાર, સુપ્રભાતમ બધાને। आत्मनिर्भर भारत इन एरोस्पेस एंड डिफेंस, इसमें MSME का क्या रोल हो सकता है, इसकी क्या आवश्यकता है, उसके विषय पे हम यहाँ सब मिले हैं। तो ये सेमिनार में आज हमारे बीच जो डायस पर विराजमान है, संपत साहब ने हमको ये बताया कि आज हम क्यों मिले हैं, उसकी बात की। एक गवर्नमेंट और हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज, स्टार्टअप, सबके पास क्या उम्मीदें है, वो बात हुई। इसके बाद हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए कमांडर श्री मनीष त्रिपाठी जी है, वो IIT के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। डॉक्टर चंद्रिका कौशिक है, वो भी ये डिफेंस के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। और एयर कमांडर श्री ज्ञानदीप सिंह जी भी है। और सामने हमारे जो बैठे हुए हैं, ये सब डिफेंस में PSU के साथ कोई काम करे, डिफेंस में काम किया हो, ऐसा ऐसा हमारे बीच में आज तज्ञ है सब। तो ये सब तज्ञों का हम लोगों को पूरी तरह से लाभ लेने का है, और वो दिशा में हम MSME किस तरह से काम कर सकते हैं, वो हमको आज देखना है। हर दफ़ा बात होती है, हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी बात करते हैं कि स्वदेशीकरण, आत्मनिर्भरता અને ઇમ્પોર્ટનો વિકલ્પ એટલે વિદેશથી આવતી સંરક્ષણ આઇટમો આપણા જ દેશમાં બનાવી અને હાલમાં ડિફેન્સ પબ્લિક સેક્ટર અંડરટેકિંગ એટલે DPSU આપણે તરીકે ઓળખીએ છીએ દ્વારા આ જે ડિફેન્સનું કાર્ય કરી રહેલ છે, તેમાં આપણી MSME કેવી રીતના સપોર્ટિવ બને એ આજે જોવાનું છે। આપણે સૃજન જે ડિફેન્સનું એક પોર્ટલ છે, એની અંદર 36,000થી પણ વધારે આઇટમો ડિફેન્સમાં રાખેલી છે કે જે આપણે અહીંયા અત્યારે જે આયાત થતી હતી અહીંયા બનાવવા માટે તેનું આખી એક યાદી છે। આપણો દેશ સંરક્ષણમાં મોટી આયાતકાર દેશ છે હજી, ને ઘણી બધી આઇટમો આશરે આ જે જ્યારથી આપણી આત્મનિર્ભરતા અને વધારે મૂવમેન્ટ ચાલી ત્યારે ઘણી બધી આઇટમો અહીંયા બની પણ, અને છતાં પણ અત્યારે હાલની અંદર 4400 કરોડથી વધારે આપણે આયાત કરી રહ્યા છીએ। MSME લઘુ ઉદ્યોગ ભારતી કે જે કંઈ આપણા MSMEs છે એ નટબોલ્ટથી લઈ ફોર્જિંગ, ફેબ્રિકેશન, હીટ ટ્રીટમેન્ટ, આવા અનેક આપણે કામ કરી રહ્યા છીએ। અને જે આપણે નાના નાના પાર્ટ્સ આપણે DPSUને સપ્લાય કરીએ અને 60થી 70% આઇટમો આ એમએસએમઈ જ આ બધા મોટા ડીપીએસયુ છે જે એને સપ્લાય કરી રહ્યા છે. ગુજરાતમાં આશરે 11 લાખથી પણ વધારે ઉદ્યોગકારો છે કે જે એમએસએમઈમાં જોડાયેલા છે. અને સૌરાષ્ટ્ર અને ખાસ કરીને રાજકોટના ઉદ્યોગકારો પાસે દુનિયાની ઓટોમોબાઈલ, ડિફેન્સ, સ્પેસ વગેરે નામાંકિત કંપનીઓ કાસ્ટિંગ, ફોર્જિંગ, મશીનિંગ કરેલ પાર્ટ્સ ખરીદે છે. ડિફેન્સમાં પણ ઘણા બધા લઘુ ઉદ્યોગો અત્યારે ડિફેન્સને સપ્લાય કરી રહ્યા છે. લઘુ ઉદ્યોગો પાસે જવાથી એક વ્યાજબી ભાવ, ઝડપી ડિલિવરી અને ગુણવત્તા સાથે લોકલ સપોર્ટ કરી રહ્યું છે લઘુ ઉદ્યોગ ભારતી એટલે લઘુ ઉદ્યોગકારો. મોટા જહાજ, ટેન્ક, ટ્રક, એરોપ્લેન, મિસાઇલ વગેરે એમએસએમઈને બનાવી નહીં શકે, પણ તેના આવશ્યક પાર્ટ આપણે એમએસએમઈ બનાવી શકશું અને એમાં આપણે મહત્ત્વનો રોલ આપણે ભજવી શકશું. સ્વદેશીકરણ એટલે કે ઇમ્પોર્ટ સબસ્ટિટ્યૂટની વાત આપણે એટલા માટે કરીએ છીએ કે મોટી કંપની મોટા પ્લાન્ટ્સમાં મનમાં આવે, પણ હકીકત એ છે કે ડિફેન્સનું સ્વદેશીકરણ એમએસએમઈ વિના અધૂરું છે. કારણ કે એના પાર્ટ્સ જે કંઈ જોઈએ એ આપણે એમએસએમઈ સપ્લાય કરી શકીએ. એમાં પછી એની જે કંઈ ઝડપી એમને જરૂરિયાત હોય છે કે મોટી કંપનીઓમાં બનાવતા જે વાર લાગે એની નિર્ણાયક શક્તિમાં બધી વાર લાગે, એની પ્રોસેસ હોય. જ્યારે એમએસએમઈમાં તો માલિક પોતે જ એના નિર્ણય લઈ અને ઝડપથી એના માટે રાત દિવસ એક કરી અને એ પાર્ટ સપ્લાય કરતો હોય એટલે એક આપણે ઝડપી આપી શકતા હોઈએ છીએ. આપણે જોયું કે કોરોના વખતે એમએસએમઈએ જે કંઈ ચેલેન્જીસ આપણા દેશમાં ઉત્પન્ન થઈ હતી એ વધારેમાં વધારે આપણે એમએસએમઈએ એને ફૂલફિલ કરેલી. અમારે રાજકોટની અંદર તો તમને ખબર છે કે ધમણથી લઈ અને ઘણી બધી આઈટમો અને મશીનરીઓ પણ અમે ત્યાં બનાવેલી ટાઈપમાં. એટલે આપણે દેશે અનુભવ્યું છે કે આત્મનિર્ભરતા જે આઈટમો આયાત થાય છે તે લઘુ ઉદ્યોગ આરામથી બનાવી શકે એમ છે. અને એક પડકાર છે, તો એ પડકારની શરત એ જ છે કે મેક ઇન ઇન્ડિયા સાથે વ્યાજબી ભાવ, ગુણવત્તાસભર માલ અને સમયસર ડિલિવરી એ તમામ પીએસયુની અને તમામ ક્ષેત્રમાં આ એક જરૂરિયાત હોય છે. અને અત્યારે લઘુ ઉદ્યોગકારો એટલા શિક્ષિત થઈ ગયા છે, એની ન્યૂ જનરેશન છે, આ બધી બાબતોમાં ધ્યાન રાખે છે. આટલી બાબત હોય તો ડિફેન્સમાં સપ્લાય માટેની ઉત્તમ તકો રહેલી છે. અત્યારે યુદ્ધમાં આયામોનો રીતો બદલાઈ ગઈ છે, આપણે જાણીએ છીએ. એમાં ટેકનોલોજી, અર્થવ્યવસ્થા, કૂટનીતિ એ જથી અત્યારે યુદ્ધ લડાઈ રહ્યા છે. એટેક અને પ્રોટેક્ટ ટેકનોલોજી બંને અત્યારે આપણે વિકસાવી આપણા દેશ માટે જરૂરી છે. એ જે અત્યારના યુદ્ધો આપણે થઈ રહ્યા છે એમાં આપણે જોઈ રહ્યા છીએ. આ સમયે દેશ સંરક્ષણમાં આત્મનિર્ભર બને એ ખૂબ જ જરૂરી છે. અને આ માટે ડીપીએસયુ દેશની તાકાત છે, પણ એમએસએમઈ તાકાતનો પાયો છે. પાયો મજબૂત હોય તો જ ઇમારત ખડી રહી શકે. અને આપ સર્વેના સ્વાગત સાથે હું ફરી વખત આપ સર્વેને અહીંયા અંતવું છું. આપણે જે કંઈ આપણી વચ્ચે અત્યારે બધા ઉપસ્થિત લોકો છે એમાં ડિફેન્સના તજજ્ઞો છે, પીએસયુના એક્સપર્ટ છે, સ્ટાર્ટઅપ છે, આપણી સાથે એકેડેમિયા છે, અને સાથોસાથ આપણે લઘુ ઉદ્યોગકારો અને ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝવાળા પણ જોડાયેલા છે. તો આ બધા જે કંઈ અહીંયા વક્તાઓ આપણે અહીંયા ઉપસ્થિત થયા છે એનો આપણે પૂર્ણ લાભ લેવો જોઈએ. અને જે કંઈ દિશામાં આપણી ગવર્મેન્ટ ચિંતા કરી રહી છે અને જે વોકલ ફોર લોકલ, સ્વદેશીકરણ, આ બધોનો આપણે વિચાર કરતા જઈએ છીએ. પણ હવે આપણે આ તો બધું કરીએ જ છીએ, પણ સાથોસાથ દેશનું નિર્યાત કેમ વધે એ પણ આપણે એટલી જ અગત્ય અત્યારે ઉત્પન્ન થઈ છે. કારણ કે અત્યારે જો આપણે 5 ટ્રિલિયનની ઇકોનોમીથી આગળ વધવું હોય તો આ એક મોટો ગેપ છે. અત્યાર સુધીમાં આપણે જોઈએ તો હજી આયાતનું આપણું જે છે એની જે આવે છે એના કરતાં નિર્યાત હજી ખૂબ જ ઓછી છે. એટલે મોટો એક ગેપ છે. અને આ 10 વર્ષ આપણી પાસે છે કે દુનિયાની અંદર જે કાંઈ અત્યારે સિનિયરીઓ ઉત્પન્ન થઈ રહ્યો છે તો એમએસએમઈ માટે અને જે કાંઈ સ્ટાર્ટઅપના ન્યૂ જનરેશન છે કે જે અત્યારે મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ ક્ષેત્રથી દૂર ભાગી જઈ રહી છે, તો એના માટે પણ તક છે. નોકરીઓ આપણે શોધીએ છીએ, નોકરીઓ કરતાં નોકરીઓ આપવી એ ખૂબ જ મહત્ત્વની છે. અને ગવર્મેન્ટની પોલિસી જેમ વાત થઈ, સંપત સાહેબે કીધું કે અત્યાર સુધી દેશમાં જે કાંઈ આપણે ઉદ્યોગકારો રજૂઆતો કરતા હતા પણ સાંભળવાળું નહોતું. પણ હવે સરકાર પોતે, સંપત સાહેબ છે કે નીલ શ્રીમાળી સાહેબ છે કે આપણને પૂછી રહ્યા છે કે ભાઈ તમારી જરૂરિયાતો શું છે, તો એ રીતે અમે તમને પોલિસી બનાવીએ. તો આવી સરસ મજાની ગવર્મેન્ટ, આટલા તજજ્ઞો અને આપણે લોકો એના જે કંઈ કરી શકીએ છીએ એવા ઉદ્યોગકારો અને સ્ટાર્ટઅપને સ્ટુડન્ટો આ દિશામાં વિચારીએ અને આપણા દેશને આત્મનિર્ભર બનાવવા માટે અને આપણા દેશનું વધારેમાં વધારે નિર્યાત કેમ થાય એ દિશામાં વિચારીએ. આજનો ખાસ કરીને જે આ એક્સપો છે, મતલબ આપણો સેમિનાર છે, એ જ બાબતમાં છે. આપણી વચ્ચે રાજનાથસિંહને, સંરક્ષણ મંત્રીને, ચીફ મિનિસ્ટરને આવવાના છે. આના પહેલાં અનેક સેમિનારમાં આપણે વાતો કરેલી છે કે અહીંયા અમને એક ડિફેન્સ કોરિડોર આપો, DRDOને અહીંયા લઈ આવો, તો આ બંનેને વિન વિન સિચ્યુએશનમાં આપણે આગળ વધી શકશું. અને मैडम यहाँ है ना पूरी एक संभावना अच्छी तरह से है और MSME भी काफ़ी है. 11 लाख से है. हमारे गुजरात में अलग अलग सिटी की अलग अलग तासीर है. समझो हमारे यहाँ जामनगर है तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक और ब्रास पार्ट में आगे है, मोरबी है तो सिरामिक, ये टॉयज वो सब में, पेपर्स वो सब में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. राजकोट तो 40 सेगमेंट से भी आगे है अभी. सूरत है तो गारमेंट और टेक्सटाइल और डायमंड में आगे है. बड़ौदा, अहमदाबाद वो भी राजकोट की तरह सभी टेक्नोलॉजी में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. तो इसका एडवांटेज गवर्नमेंट और PSUs को साथ में लेना चाहिए. वो उम्मीद के साथ मैं मेरा वक्तव्य पूर्ण करता हूँ. अस्तु. वंदे मातरम. भारत माता की जय. जय हिंद.
ખૂબ ખૂબ ધન્યવાદ ગજરા સાહેબ. આપના શબ્દોથી જાણ્યું કે આત્મનિર્ભરતાનો ખરેખર પાયો આપણા ગ્રાઉન્ડ લેવલ એટલે કે MSME થી શરૂ થાય છે. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring in the private defense manufacturing perspective, now help me welcome Mr. Harsh Rotela, Program Head India, C295, Tata Advanced Systems Limited. Welcome, sir.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Harsh Rotela. I work as the Program Manager for India C295 at Tata Advanced Systems. What we have is a short brief talking about what Tata Advanced Systems does. And at the end of the presentation, we have a small portion where we are talking about what we are looking for in terms of our partners and suppliers to take the vision of the Government of India ahead. But before I start, good morning everyone once again, and good morning to all the dignitaries who are on the stage. So Tata Advanced Systems is a 100% subsidiary of Tata Sons, which is the holding company for all Tata Group companies. We are a pure play defense player, and we work in 4 domains. Aerostructures and aero engines, which is where we manufacture parts of the aircraft like fuselages, wings, landing gears, empennages. And the second division that we have is airborne platforms and systems. This division is primarily focused on delivering a platform level solution, which is airborne or which is airworthy. For example, the C295 final assembly aircraft or the H125 helicopter final assembly line. The distinction here between is that the product can fly away from the factory to the customer location. The next division that we work is weapon systems and sensors. This is mainly land-based systems like radars, or sonars, electro-optic payloads, guidance mechanisms, missile launchers, which are mainly used for command and control or intelligence gathering or even for offensive and defensive capabilities. The last one is land mobility, which is essentially providing armored vehicles, armored personal carriers, transportation, troops, and logistics solutions to the defense forces. So that's the full gamut where we have multiple products which we do as our own development. We also do a lot of manufacturing for global OEMs and deliver it either to the Indian forces or we export out of the country. This slide basically shows where all the presence of Tata Advanced Systems is, with Gujarat being the latest addition with the C295 final assembly line. We have our historical presence in Telangana, Karnataka, and New Delhi. We also have a presence in Maharashtra where we are doing aircraft parts as well as the land mobility solution products are delivered from there. This is a profile of the customers that we have. And as you can see over here, almost all global OEMs are a part of our network. And we are very proud of our association and our ability to develop solutions that can meet global standards while producing in India. These are some of the marquee products that we have. I'll start from the left-hand side. The first one is the C295 aircraft. As you know, this is being manufactured in Baroda. We have conducted the first flight test of this aircraft, and we expect to deliver it to our customer, Indian Air Force and Ministry of Defense, as per our committed schedules. The one below it is the MAIL platform, which is a medium endurance, medium altitude, long endurance aircraft, which is mainly UAV used for surveillance and for command and control. And the one below it is the HAIL platform, which is high altitude, long endurance. These aircraft can typically fly 8 to 9 hours uninterrupted without refueling and can provide you surveillance and intelligence cover while it's in the air. The second column is essentially parts that we manufacture for various aircraft. The interesting image is the one in the second one in the second row, where you can see the complete fuselage and the wings of a aircraft called PC-12, which are manufactured in Hyderabad. We ship one complete airframe every week to Switzerland. So that is the kind of rates or efficiency that we have been able to achieve. The next column is mainly about the weapon systems, where you can see various products that we are offering, including upgradation of MBTs or armored personal carriers, electronic warfare equipment. And the last one is a product that we are extremely proud of. It was developed as an association with DRDO. It's called the Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System. This particular gun is manufactured in India. It's a completely developed solution in India and has the world record for firing the longest ranges. The last one is on the land mobility solutions, where you can see various solutions that are offered by Tata Advanced Systems. This slide mainly talks about the various products or solutions that we offer. It's a little textual, but the way to read it is any portion that you see blue highlighted on the pictures is what Tata Advanced Systems is manufacturing and supplying for these particular platforms. On aero engines, we are now working to develop capability in aero engines. This is an extremely complex domain within aerospace as well. And we are proud to say that we have been able to deliver extremely complex parts to GE and CFM for various commercial engines. What you see over here as an image where you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now written, these are the various parts which are required on the engine. These are various casings and seals. These are extremely hard metals and extremely complex to manufacture, and we are supplying them for global demand. This section of the presentation mainly talks about C295 and what we are doing, just to give you a flavor of how the Gujarat aerospace and defense ecosystem is also developing. So this is a program which is historic and is one of a kind in the country as of now. And it's for the first time that a private sector player is manufacturing an aircraft for a complete aircraft for India. What we do is we buy raw material or aluminium from various mills and suppliers across the globe, and we first build parts. That is the lower portion of this slide. And from there, we progressively go up and deliver a complete aircraft. So these parts are manufactured with more than 40 Indian MSME suppliers. And then they come to our factories in Hyderabad, where we manufacture the sections of the aircraft. And from Hyderabad, they travel to Vadodara, where we do the final assembly. So what you see on the right-hand side, where you see the three images, that is what is the work that is done in Vadodara, where we are actually integrating the whole aircraft. We are fitting it with all the systems, avionics, sensors that go on, and then we subsequently take it into testing and delivery. So this is the scope that we are doing in Vadodara, and this is for the first time that outside HAL, any Indian private player is doing this within the country. The program is, as I said, it's quite unique. So Indian Air Force is procuring 56 C295 aircraft from Airbus Defence in Spain, of which 16 are flyaway from Spain and have already been delivered and are in service with the Air Force. 40 of these will be manufactured in India by Tata. And the first one, if you're following social media, you would have seen a video which came out of 2 weeks back. That was the first India-made aircraft which took flight. And it's a momentous milestone not only for tassel, but it's a momentous milestone for Gujarat and the country that now we have a second player beyond HAL who can deliver similar solutions and products. This program is going to not only build the capability but also the skill and the long-term knowledge base for the country to leverage on and build on other programs. We expect that this will create high-end, high-technology jobs for engineers, for Indian engineers, not only to support C295 but to support future programs that India has on its mind. Programs like AMCA, programs like TED-BF, you have MTA now coming up. So all these programs will need this skill set and people who know how to deliver a full aircraft. The factory in Vadodara, the foundation stone was laid in October 2022 by the Honorable Prime Minister. This is the image from there. And in October 2024, we had completed the factory construction, installation of the factory with tooling and other equipment required for production, and we started production in October 2024. This image is of the inauguration ceremony for the plant, and this was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister along with the President of Spain. And as far as I know, this was the first time in the country that two heads of state were there at a private factory to inaugurate and support the work being done over there. This is the first aircraft that took flight on 9th of June 2026. It was a momentous occasion not only for the teams that were working, but as I said, for the country in terms of the capabilities and the roadmap we lay for future. These are some of the skill sets that we have developed and are available to the country now in terms of the solutions or the requirements they may have. So we are already producing structural components and we were integrating those, but with C295 and similar programs we are engaged. We have now also started to get into electronics and avionics for the aircraft. Engines and APU installation and calibration, which in itself is quite complex and very demanding task and is extremely critical to the safety of the aircraft and flight. And the last one is the static and dynamic testing. This is one area where we continue to develop the capabilities and infrastructure that may be required, not only for C295 and TASL, but for the nation at large. Now this section basically covers what are we looking for in terms of suppliers and partners. So it's a very short slide. I'll basically summarize it this way. What we are looking for are, there are a few familiar faces here who we work with, and they can tell you more about the experience of working with TASL and what kind of capabilities we require. But if I have to summarize, I would say we are looking for suppliers who have some aerospace experience or have an ambition to be in aerospace. And at the same time, they are willing to be in it for the long haul. Aerospace is not something which, you generate products fast. It takes its own time. There is a huge certification cycle associated with it. So there should be a willingness to be in this domain for the long run. And there should be a willingness to comply to international standards that are generally followed within the organization. I think these are the two more critical aspects of what we require as our partners. And beyond that, things can be learned. You can develop products, you can develop the skill and the capability to deliver or work in aerospace and defense. So what we are looking for are essentially all machine shop suppliers. We are looking for sheet metal suppliers. We are looking for tooling suppliers, what we call a special process or chemical processes for various parts. So all these areas of technology or services is where Tata Advanced Systems is continuously looking for partners to join hands and deliver products jointly. This is around composite manufacturing as well as some of the quality equipment. So in terms of, we do a lot of work in composites, and also a lot of people say that's the future for aerospace. So we are looking for capabilities of suppliers who have composite capability or experience. To summarize, what we are looking for are while this is a very short list, we are looking for suppliers across the complete value chain of aerospace and defense. And in case you're interested, we have our procurement lead over here, Devang Panchal. You can reach out to him or you can reach out to us separately, and we will be happy to connect and figure out how do we make this work in future. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that presentation of yours, and we wish Tata Advanced Systems Limited good luck. देवियों सज्जनों, युद्ध की तकनीक और रणनीतियां लगातार बदल रही है। इस बदलते दौर को समझने के लिए अब समय है एक तकनीकी प्रस्तुति का। मैं बड़े सम्मान के साथ आमंत्रित करती हूं कमोडोर मनीष त्रिपाठी, CTO Systems IIT गांधीनगर को। Sir, kindly give us the knowledge regarding the evolving landscape of warfare. Welcome, sir.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, partners from the industry, MSMEs, academia, startups, innovators, the future generation, the next generation. Good morning to all, and over the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will share some of my ideas with respect to the evolving landscape. This talk is targeted towards the industry and the innovators who are sitting here to understand where the technology is moving, the environment in which we are, and where we need to go, what we need to see when we develop systems for the defense forces. It is important that we look at not only manufacturing in India, but we also look at sovereign ownership of key technologies. And I think that is very important. So we can build, manufacture, but we also need to own technology. I think that is the single most important aspect that we need to look at when we are looking at technology. A lot of effort is being put to get the government, the industry, the startup, and the academic ecosystem together. And this needs to be done at scale. And so, over the next couple of minutes, I will dwell on the environment, the technologies, the part that academia and specifically IIT Gandhinagar can play, and leave you with some things to ponder on, that when we want to develop technologies for the defense, what are the key aspects that we need to consider. So let us see where we are, हम कहाँ हैं आज. Advances and developments which are shaping conflicts, and there has been a non-linear transformation of societies, governments and military because of the environment in which we are today. सबसे पहले अगर हम देखें तो वॉल्यूम एंड वेलोसिटी ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन ये बहुत तेज़ी से बढ़ रही है. और ये क्यों बढ़ रही है? क्योंकि आज हम एक डिजिटाइज्ड और इंटरकनेक्टेड वर्ल्ड में रहते हैं. And because of this, we have become more and more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Disinformation and narratives are at scale. आज एक 3 से 4 सेकंड का ऑडियो क्लिप के साथ कोई भी वॉइस जो है वो आप उसको रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हो किसी और की वॉइस से. किसी से कुछ भी बुलवा सकते हो आज के डिजिटल एज में. तो ये जो है आजकल वी आर लिविंग इन अ एरा ऑफ नैरेटिव्स. We are living in an era of disinformation, and we need to find out where the truth lies. Secondly, while we had network coming from DARPA, we had various nuclear innovations happening which were led by the defense. Today, the commercial technologies are what is leading, and we need to use the commercial technology or the dual-use technology also for the defense purposes. So that is commercial off the shelf or military off the shelf. So this is something which you need to understand. आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के बारे में आपने सब लोगों ने सुना होगा, चाहे वो न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स हो, मशीन लर्निंग हो, एलएलएम्स के बारे में बहुत सुना होगा आपने, चैट जीपीटी, एंथ्रोपिक का जो क्लॉड है, ग्रॉक, आप सब यूज़ करते होंगे. हम आज एजेंटिक एआई की बारे में भी बहुत चर्चा कर रहे हैं. एंड इसके डिफेंस क्षेत्र में बहुत सारे मल्टीपल एप्लीकेशंस हैं, और इससे हम इंटेलिजेंट सिस्टम्स बन रहे हैं. सिस्टम्स आज इंटेलिजेंट हो रहे हैं, एंड हमारा जो ऑब्जर्व, ऑपरेट, डिसाइड एंड एक्ट का जो लूप है वो शॉर्टन होते जा रहा है. टाइम नहीं है, जब तक बहुत जल्दी चीज़ें जो हैं बैटलफील्ड के ऊपर इमर्ज हो रही हैं, और उससे पेस में रखना, उसके साथ एक कदम से कदम मिला के चलना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड इट इज़ वेरी चैलेंजिंग ऑल्सो व्हेन things are changing so fast. We are also looking at autonomous systems. अब ड्रोन्स के बारे में बात करी, टाटा एडवांस सिस्टम से अपने एयरस्पेस के बारे में बात करी, हम क्या क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. आज जो है हम इस स्थिति में हैं कि बड़ा आर्मर और हाई कॉस्टली वाला जो आर्मर है उससे हम विजय की घोषणा नहीं कर सकते हैं. वी कांट बी कॉन्फिडेंट दैट वी आर गोइंग टू विन जस्ट बिकॉज इफ वी हैव अ लार्ज आर्मर. आजकल जो है एसिमेट्रिक वॉरफेयर, लो कॉस्ट ड्रोन्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं जो कि यूटिलाइज हो रहे हैं. आप जहाँ भी देखिए, चाहे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हो रहे हैं, चाहे मिडल ईस्ट में देख लीजिए, ईरान में क्या हो रहा है, यूक्रेन और रशिया के बीच में क्या हो रहा है. सो यू सी दैट वेयर द वॉरफेयर इज मूविंग. We are also looking at loitering ammunition, we are looking at smart ammunition, we are looking at precision ammunition. Space and satellites में आज space militarize हो रहा है, और satellites जो हैं वो critical enablers हैं हमारे for your intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, आपका position, navigation, timing data के लिए और communication के लिए. और क्योंकि ये आज उनका महत्व बढ़ता जा रहा है, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट द एंटी सैटेलाइट वेपन्स आर ऑल्सो कमिंग इनटू फोकस. स्पेक्ट्रम जो है जिससे हम बात करते हैं, आपका चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम अगर आपने सुना हो, या वेरी हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी, या आजकल गीगाहर्ट्ज़ में जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, टेराहर्ट्ज़ में बात कर रहे हैं, तो वो जो स्पेक्ट्रम का कंट्रोल है वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है. अभी हम 5G देख रहे हैं, 2030 में हम 6G देखेंगे. तो स्पेक्ट्रम का डोमिनेंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है आज के दिन में, एंड सिक्योर कम्युनिकेशंस बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हो गए हैं. सिमिलरली क्लाइमेट एंड रिसोर्स प्रेशर्स की बात करेंगे. मेल्टिंग आइस इन द नॉर्थ पोल रीजन इज क्रिएटिंग न्यू कॉरिडोर्स. जियोपॉलिटिक्स से हम देख रहे हैं कि सप्लाई चेन्स डिस्टर्ब हो रहे हैं, और जब रिसोर्स का कंस्ट्रेंट आता है तो ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को ड्राइव करता है. अगर हम इमर्जिंग वॉरफेयर को देखें, हम इसके लैंडस्केप को देखें, तो टुडे वी आर लुकिंग एट कॉग्निटिव वॉरफेयर. एंड व्हाट इज कॉग्निटिव वॉरफेयर? वी विन और लूज अ वॉर व्हेन वी डिफीट द एनिमी इन हिज माइंड, इन हिज एबिलिटी टू वेज अ वॉर. जब वो सोचता है कि नहीं, मैं इनसे नहीं जीत सकता. It is not a question of attrition, it is a question of defeating him in the mind. And today जैसे मैंने बताया, जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में चल रहा है, नैरेटिव्स की बात हो रही है, उससे हम एडवर्सरी की देश में जो जनता है, जो पॉलिटिकल विल है, हम उसको टारगेट कर रहे हैं टू फाइट. सो वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ इन्फो ऑप्स, वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ नैरेटिव्स, वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ डीप फेक्स, वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ ग्रे जोन वॉरफेयर. ग्रे जोन क्या होता है कि आप एक काइनेटिक, मतलब जब आप एक दूसरे पे मिसाइल मार रहे हैं या आप बंदूकों से लड़ाई कर रहे हैं, वो चीज़ नहीं दिख रही है, काइनेटिक वॉरफेयर नहीं दिख रहा है. बट आज के ज़माने में जो है वो हम देख रहे हैं क्या, नो वॉर नो पीस. तो एक परसिस्टेंट थ्रेशोल्ड जो है एक कोहर्शन का रहता है, through, various cyber attacks which we are doing, or someone else is doing, or the adversaries, who are in conflict zones, they are doing. And basically, this is known as the gray zone warfare. We are also looking at hypersonic threats, जो आपके बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स हैं, हाइपरसोनिक मैक 5 के ऊपर जो स्पीड्स हैं, वो आज के जो पॉइंट डिफेंस सिस्टम्स हैं और बाकी जो डिफेंस सिस्टम्स हैं उनको वनरेबल बना देती हैं. सिमिलरली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वॉरफेयर, जैमिंग, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक काउंटर मेजर्स उसका बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. एंड फाइनली द ऑटोनोमस स्वॉर्म्स, जिससे हम एडवर्सरीज के डिफेंस को सैचुरेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं. दूसरी चीज़, what is very important now is the multi-domain operations. We are not looking only at the land, sea and air battles, but we are also looking at cyber and we are also looking at space. तो आपको पता होगा कि हमने अभी डिफेंस साइबर एजेंसी है, स्पेस एजेंसी है, और अगर आप ये स्लाइड देखें तो देखिए तो both all army, navy, air force, all are using, unmanned systems. Similarly, there are counter systems for the autonomous vehicles. In the sea, we are looking at maritime domain awareness. ये ships किस तरह से जा रहे हैं? We are looking at anomaly of behavior of the ships. एयर में हम देख रहे हैं रॉयल विंगमिंग, दैट मीन्स एयरक्राफ्ट के साथ आपके जो हैं ऑटोनोमस एयरक्राफ्ट भी उड़ रहे हैं, पायलटलेस एयरक्राफ्ट भी उड़ रहे हैं जो कि असिस्ट कर रहे हैं पायलट को. स्पेस में हम लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट कॉन्स्टलेशंस की बात कर रहे हैं. आपने स्टारलिंक का नाम सुना होगा, उसी प्रकार के हम कॉन्स्टलेशंस की बात कर रहे हैं. सो वी आर नॉट लुकिंग ओनली एट जियो स्टेशनरी सैटेलाइट्स फॉर गिविंग अस इंफॉर्मेशन. एंड साइबर का जो है, it's very important, as I mentioned. We are looking at narratives, we are looking at deep fakes, we are in a connected world. So cyber is playing an extremely critical role. और इन सब को जोड़ते हुए we are looking at how the three arms of the services, they talk to each other. We are talking of joint warfare, and we are looking at, having a मल्टी सेंसर, मल्टी प्लेटफॉर्म डेटा फ्यूजन, मतलब सब जगह से डेटा आता है और फिर हम एक निर्णय लेते हैं. सो ये जस्ट मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि आज ड्रोन्स की चर्चा हो रही है, सब लोग ड्रोन्स के बारे में सुन रहे हैं. ड्रोन्स हम आज के ज़माने में रिकोनेसेंस के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, रिले के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, स्ट्राइक के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, लॉजिस्टिक्स के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, डिकॉयज़ के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वॉरफेयर के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं. और ये सब जो है, अगर सब आपका कम्युनिकेशन चल रहा है तो बहुत बढ़िया है. लेकिन क्या होता है कि अगर जो एक्चुअल वॉरफेयर में आपके कम्युनिकेशन सब डिस्टर्ब हो जाते हैं, तो उसमें उस सरकमस्टेंस में हम किस तरह से ऐसे ड्रोन्स को, ऑटोनोमस सिस्टम्स को बिहेव करना चाहिए. मैं आपसे ये क्यों बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि जब हम लोग सिस्टम डिज़ाइन करेंगे तो हमें इन सब बातों को ध्यान में रखना है. So we are not looking at the ideal scenario in the times of war. So we are looking at कि क्या ये command legitimate है, क्या ये message current है. So we have to be able to manage uncertainty. Electronic and cyber warfare, as I said, we are looking at zero trust defense architectures. This is extremely important. Not to trust anyone. Micro segmentation की आज हम बात कर रहे हैं, और यही आपके डिज़ाइन फिलॉसफी भी होनी चाहिए. When we are making electronic designs, when we are making communication systems, it is necessary to design the systems to ensure zero trust. We are also looking at a lot of, अब आजकल हम क्वांटम कंप्यूटर्स की बात कर रहे हैं, और क्वांटम कंप्यूटर्स जो है वो हमारे कम्युनिकेशन को और सिक्योर कम्युनिकेशन में जो है को प्रभावित करेगा. तो उसके लिए हम पोस्ट क्वांटम टेक्निक्स की बात कर रहे हैं, हम सॉफ्टवेयर डिफाइंड रेडियोस की बात कर रहे हैं, कॉग्निटिव रेडियोस की बात कर रहे हैं, और हम क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को एजेंटिक एआई से बचाने के लिए, अटैक से बचाने के लिए की बात कर रहे हैं. सो देयर इज, आपने अभी सुना होगा क्लॉड का एक वो निकला था एजेंटिक एआई का एक प्लेटफॉर्म निकला था, एंड माइथॉस, और उससे हमने देखा था कि जो वनरेबिलिटीज़ जो है करीब काफ़ी दिनों में होती थी उसको अटैक करने के लिए, वो अब कुछ मिनटों में ही आपके सिस्टम्स को अटैक कर देती हैं। स्पेस के बारे में बहुत कुछ चर्चा हमने करी है, एंड फाइनली मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी पर्सपेक्टिव रोड मैप है जो कि डिफेंस बताता है इंडस्ट्री को कि वो क्या करना चाह रहे हैं अगले 15 सालों में। तो जितने भी आपके एमएसएमईज़ हैं, जितने भी आपके यहाँ पे इंडस्ट्री से लोग बैठे हैं, तो अगर आप इसको पढ़ेंगे तो आपको पता लगेगा कि डिफेंस की रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है अगले 15 सालों के लिए। और ये जस्ट मैं आपको एक ग्लिम्स दे रहा हूँ कि किस तरह से कितने डिटेल में इस टीपीसीआर में डिटेल्स लिखी गई हैं। फोकस एरियाज जो हैं डिफेंस इनोवेशन के हमने यहाँ पे दिखा रखे हैं, और आईआईटी गांधीनगर के लिए जो है हम बहुत सारी चीज़ें कर सकते हैं। एंड फाइनली जस्ट टू लीव सम थॉट्स विद यू कि हम डिफेंस के लिए जब हम कुछ भी डेवलप कर रहे हैं तो हमें क्या क्या देखना चाहिए। स्पीड टू फील्ड आई थिंक इज समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। We are talking of modular design. We are talking about standards. So if we are going to make in India and make for the world, we need to ensure, the certifications, the compliance to standards, and I would say we must utilize open standards. Open standards use is extremely important so that we can integrate much faster, make the things modular, and there are today a number of opportunities, whether it is TPCR, IDEX, TPP, and we need to leverage collaboration across the academia, startups, and MSMEs and industry. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपके प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए। नभः स्पृशम दीप्तम। भारतीय वायुसेना के शौर्य और तकनीकी कौशल से हम सब परिचित हैं। हमारे बीच आज उपस्थित हैं एयर कमांडर ज्ञानदीप सिंह, डायरेक्टोरेट ऑफ एरोस्पेस डिज़ाइन, एयर हेडक्वार्टर्स, इंडियन एयरफोर्स। मैं उन्हें उनके संबोधन के लिए सादर आमंत्रित करती हूँ। आइए तालियों के साथ उनका आभार करें।
Jai Hind. Let's have, some Josh. Jai Hind. No, not okay. Jai Hind. That's better. Okay. Good morning, the dignitaries present on the stage, and respected veterans, industry reps, some young bright minds of India, and the students from the college. So I'll be covering my talk on the theme today. Can we go to the next slide? I'll start. Okay. Okay. So I'll start with the intent. What is the intent of the government? I'll just quote. There's a manual called Defense Acquisition Procedure, DAP. So this is basically 2026 draft is available on the internet. I'll just read out and I'll quote from the text from the preamble to the Defense Acquisition Procedure, DAP 2026 draft. For next decade, the metric of success is not just made in India, but owned by India. We are shifting the focus from transfer of technology, which often results in dependency on legacy systems, to co-development and intellectual property ownership. Capital acquisitions would prioritize the retention of source codes, critical design data, and upgrade authority within Indian entities. We now aim to be a design powerhouse of the world. This is the intent of the government. Coming to the future wars, as the previous speaker covered, I'll just quickly say that it is the time of disruptive technologies to be employed in the warfare. Battle space transparency is the norm. You got spaceborne ISR, you got various types of ISR 8s, so you don't think that you are kind of protected. Multi-domain, as covered by the previous speaker, beyond physical boundaries. Long-range precision intelligence weapons are going to be employed. Hypersonic, difficult to counter. Networked, cyber, and also psychological ops is going to be employed. Low cost, high impact, a lot of attritable weapons are going to be employed. Decision enablement towards faster object-orient decide and act loop. And unmanned and autonomous with manned unmanned teaming probably. Dense EW environment with sustained nuclear backdrop. This is the theater of the war which is going to take place. So we need to be ready for that. We need to be ready for that as an India, as a nation, as industry, and as an Indian industry also. So this is self-explanatory. We need to reduce foreign dependencies. We need to take care of the tech disruptions and be prepared to counter the changing face of warfare. And also to keep our assets going, we need to focus on keeping the fleet alive during operations. Enablers, what come to mind is we need to enhance our R&D and manufacturing capacity as a nation. We need to invest in ecosystem development assisted by policy frameworks. We need to have skilled manpower, and we need to also concentrate on dual use offshoot technology which can benefit investment in the technology to the industry. Idea is we need to maintain a technological edge of the adversary at all times. So coming to this quick slide, we have been contributing to India's Aatmanirbhar initiatives right from the very beginning, be it in nation effort by base repair depots, nodal technical centers, CIMDs. Make and innovation is being primarily looked after by my directorate at Air Headquarters. Flight testing and integration right from the HT2 days to Marut days. Air Force has been the lead agency to flight test advanced weapons and platforms. In-house D&D is the norm now, and a lot of focus is there on in-house D&D. We have also been supporting various government and DPSUs towards the capability development. Coming to the basic slides, under chapter 3 of DAP 2020, there are basically 3 routes which are open for us to engage with the industry. One is Innovation for Defense Excellence, IDEX. Other is TDF, Technology Development Fund. Third is Make category, and fourth is through revenue. So IDEX, Make and TDF are through capital route, which are covered as per the provisions of DAP. IDEX, you have funding up to 1.5 CR, and for Aditi, you have funding up to 25 CR with equivalent matching contribution from the startups. TDF, you have funding up to 50 CR or 90%. Make 1, you do have funding up to 250 CR D&D funding. Make 2 and Make 3 remain industry funded. And revenue as per the provisions of the DPM which has been issued recently. So what we do? We have various avenues available with the industry to participate in the process. I'll start with TDF, which primarily invest in fundamental technology development with a grant of 50 CR available, or 90% of the total D&D cost which is being given by the government. And you have the hand-holding from a nominated DRDO lab, which ma'am will cover later. IF R&D funds, again, this is through the indigenization innovation requiring revenue effort are undertaken under the powers of field commanders. Thereafter, we have IDEX and Make, in which startups, academia, and MSMEs can participate. And we also have procurement process, which is a competitive process. So as DAD, what we do, this is the complete diagram as to what we do. We do a multitude of activities in the Air Force. Currently, we are having 180 D&D projects for more than 17,000 crore of AON. So see the amount of opportunity which is available to the industry from the Air Force. We have 2 regional centers. One is in Gandhinagar, one is at Bangalore. We keep doing a lot of industry outreach, seminars and ecosystem, and I'm very glad that we are having one industry outreach today at Air Force Station Baroda, and a lot of our industry partners are participating as we speak. We keep doing a lot of internal idea generations. We keep having scheduled outreaches. We have our own IPR policy now, which we have, and we are in the process of filing some patent as an Indian Air Force patents. We keep doing a lot of industry capability scan, keep interacting very actively with DRDO government agencies, including orientation, understanding each other's perspective. We keep promoting niche tech, facilitation of in-house innovators, and also a lot of physical and also virtual outreaches. We are having a lot of meetings almost on an everyday basis. 2 to 3 startups we are meeting virtually, and a lot of startups we are meeting physically also. We have dedicated MOUs and R&D arrangement with academia and other agencies to take forward the R&D. So these are the opportunities which I am just flashing for you in case they're all self-explanatory. I'll not take much time. I'll go to the next slide. We have come out recently with a compendium for challenge and opportunities, which is available on indianairforce.nic.in, which is a compendium of close to 188 total problem statements. Many of them, of course, have already been initiated under various routes. TPCR, like my previous speaker covered, it has the problem statements from all 3 services. 76 from Air Force plus more than 100 common problem statements which are there. It is open, available. Both these documents are available on the internet. Coming to dual use technologies, once you spend in defense, there are a number of dual use technologies. In the paucity of time, I'll just flash them over here. It is all self-explanatory. So a lot of defense technologies can also be used for civil offshoots. Notwithstanding that, there are challenges which are available in the journey, which challenges which are present in the journey, and one should be aware of them. So we, of course, because of we have limited R&D investment towards competing at global level, we invest. We are investing 5% in R&D, especially in DRDO, about 29,000 crores or something. That is $2.8 billion. And if you say US, R&D spend is about $100 billion. So, but we are slowly getting there. And I'm very happy to say that there's a lot of focus of the government in recent years. Annual turnover for aerospace, defense and manufacturing, we are targeting 3 lakh crore into 28-29. And as covered earlier, we already reached about 1.9. And also defense exports, which are targeting 30,000 crores, more than 50,000 crores, we already reached 38,000 crores. However, the import reliance on critical technology remains. Risk-taking capability for critical tech development needs to be enhanced by the Indian industry. We need to solve the puzzle of MOQ versus D&D effort, because many items of complex nature, we don't necessarily have that much of MOQ, but then the technology is important. Acquisition timelines can somehow be tiring, and realization time versus tech relevance. So industry has to be aware of the fact that if you don't realize the tech in time, the technology loses its relevance. And of course, there are supply chain issues which have come up because of recent geopolitical situations. For aerospace industry, that the complexity little increases. That it is very, sometimes it is tech and capital intensive investment. You need skilled HR, infra, capacity to absorb tech. There are higher dependencies in terms of dedicated test facilities, weather you have to see when you have to do flight tests, terrain, in various terrains you have to prove the equipment, operating conditions, instrumentation, telemetry, etc. There's a prolonged D&D period in certain cases. And of course, the airborne platform test is always hazardous. So you have to meticulously plan your test hazard metrics, and you have to go incremental. Lifetime support, overall maintenance remains an issue which needs to be looked on when we procure the item. So technology obsolescence does matter. And of course, the volume versus the market risk, the dilemma of MOQ versus D&D, which I covered, same thing is here also. But the good news is this, that whatever we are propagating, whatever we are projecting, IEF is always available for hand-holding the industry partners. So takeaway is process reforms for shortening timelines and ease of doing business, continual process which is happening. We need to invest more in R&D and critical tech, skilled manpower. We need to collaborate between services, R&D agencies, academia, industry and DPSUs, what they call nation as a whole approach. We need to facilitate faster QA compliance, certification, and easy access to test facilities. This is a slide which I'll flash. Certain websites have been given where the industry opportunities are available. Coming to the next slide, this is a contact detail which is available. So I'll just finish my talk with a poem which is by Shiv Mangal Singh Suman. It goes like this: इसलिए समय के सैलाबों को मत रोको, खुशहाल हवाओं में न खिड़कियां बंद करो, हर किरण जिंदगी की आंगन तक आने दो, नवनिर्माणों की लपटों को मत मंद करो. जय हिंद.
Thank you very much, sir, for the presentation. जब बात रक्षा अनुसंधान और स्वदेशी मिसालों व हथियारों की हो तो DRDO का नाम सबसे प्रथम आता है. अब समय है आज के इस कीनोट एड्रेस में, और उसके लिए मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर चंद्रिका कौशिक, डिस्टिंग्विश्ड साइंटिस्ट एंड डायरेक्टर जनरल DRDO. आइए उनका भी तालियों के साथ हम स्वागत करें.
Dignitaries on the dais, Doyens from Indian industry, organizing team from Gujarat government, friends from the media, and my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizing team for giving me this opportunity to share what we are doing in DRDO and how all of you are either already a part of it or can join us in creating capabilities in the country. Can someone help me with this? Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, pointer, this should be working? Yeah. Doesn't seem to be. Or can we do it manually? Otherwise, they can.
Next.
Okay, till such time that. Right.
Change the next slide.
So today's wars, if you have seen, be it the Israel-Iran, Ukraine.
Yeah, ma'am, it's changed. You can see next.
Next, please. Ukraine, Russia. We can go to the next one, please.
It's working.
I thought they're changing it. Okay, I got it. Right. So if you look at it, there are the 4 determining factors. First is the speed, agility with which you can make an impact. So hypersonic weapons, we have seen use of those. How much decision loop you can compress so that the actions are faster. Second is the battlefield surveillance. Transparency about what is happening in the war domain is a major critical factor in your ability to respond and react. Third is the use of autonomy, use of unmanned systems, and in some places autonomous systems also, across all the verticals, land, air, sea. So much so that we are seeing more use of drones than actual fighter planes in the warfare scenario. So these are the technologies which come to form these autonomous systems are going to play a more and more important role. And the last is the spectrum. And I think both my colleagues before this spoke about it. The EW spectrum, ability in cyber, quantum communication, these are some of the technologies which are impacting the warfare scenario uniformly. So what are we doing about it? So giving you a global picture, systems that we are developing within DRDO and which are being produced by the Indian industry, approvals for induction of these systems to the tune of more than 6 lakh crores have been given. We have transferred more than 2,000 technologies. We have signed the licensing agreements with our industry partners to produce these systems. We have identified 150 industry partners who are responsible for production of these systems, and we have started engaging with them in the early phase of the design and development cycle itself as development cum production partners. We are supporting industries with making the test facilities available within DRDO to them. Exports of DRDO products, more than 13,000 crores. A lot of CAPF's paramilitary forces, police agencies also use some of these systems which they find applications, and more than 4,000 crores worth of systems have been inducted by these agencies. More than 6,000 industry partners are working with various DRDO labs, and more than 250 systems have been identified for export purposes. So how does all this happen? DRDO with this limited manpower will not be able to do everything. So it's kind of a necklace of pearls where each agency contributes towards their unique core competencies. So while the academia helps us with the TRL 1 to 3 research, industry is our partner in the development phase. Most of the fabrication development is happening in the industrial ecosystem, and only if there is some facility or something which is not there in the industry do we undertake those developments within the DRDO laboratories. And not only development, production, life cycle management of the systems once they have reached the user agencies, all this support, all this responsibility is taken up by our industry partners. DRDO itself has about 36 major labs, and we have 5 young scientist labs spread across the country and working in, I would say, each and every technology domain that is of relevance to the armed forces. We also have certification verticals, especially the airborne certification, which is steered by CEMILAC. They provide the type approvals, etc., to ensure that the systems which are being made for airborne purposes are airworthy. And of course, the requirement flows from the armed forces. What is it that is required? Whether it is field worthy, fit for operation in the field. This is a continuous process of engagement between the user agencies, the design and development agencies, and of late we are trying to shorten these time cycles as much as possible. So where are we as a country? I would say we have done fairly well. India is one of the 4 or 5 countries which have got capabilities across all technology domains which are of relevance for the defense. We have core capabilities in the EW sphere, land, air, water, subsurface. We have the capability to make various kind of radars. Again, some of the radars which can even look into space and provide necessary inputs. We have our own fighter aircrafts. All of you must have heard about Tejas, the flagship program LCA Mark 1A, which is getting inducted. The AEW&C last week, some of you might have noticed the FOC ceremony, and this is a potent platform which enables the Air Force to see much beyond the fighter aircraft ranges and provides the necessary inputs. It's a force multiplier. Various kinds of missiles in all domains, surface to air, air to air, air to surface to surface, underwater missiles, the anti-tank guided missiles. Different kind of weapons have been developed, including the ballistic missile defense capability. Coming to the area of rockets and artillery, I think our tassel friend talked about one of the systems, ATACS, where they are one of the industry partners. Long range firepower, different kind of rockets, various kind of arms, ammunitions, those sonars, which are the eyes for the naval people, and the torpedoes, their weapons, the various kind of communication systems secure tactical networks, software-defined radios, armored fighting vehicles, combat engineering equipment, and nuclear, biological, chemical detection, mitigation systems. All of these have been developed, capabilities have been transferred to the Indian industries and further inducted by the armed forces. I'll just rush through. I don't think we have enough time because each system is a story in itself. We can spend hours and hours together getting into the details, but there is neither the time nor we have that much of resource available at the moment. BrahMos Akash, you would have heard during Op Sindoor, Astra, various kind of anti-ship missiles. Similarly, various kind of armored fighting vehicles, Arjun, BLT T-72, which lays bridges which are mounted on T-72 tanks, Sarvatra, which can take tanks across the bridge. You can lay a bridge, make the tanks cross over it, fold up the bridge and move forward. Modular bridges, bridges for the mountain areas, floating fruit bridges, etc. In addition to the artillery guns and the rockets, the various kind of ammunition that is required for making use of these, be it the guns or the rockets, the high energy BT projectiles, DPICM, etc., plus the ammunition that is required for various kind of tanks, different kind of grenades. All of these are capabilities that are available with the armed forces. Coming to the naval domain, the various kind of torpedoes, torpedo decoy systems, naval mines, the autonomous systems. I think the first autonomous system was made more than 15 years back, and the airborne platforms, the initial Netra, which was a small drone that was made by R&D engineers. If I remember, it was done more than 15 years back. And different kind of ROVs based on the specific use case, because once you have the underlying technology blocks, you can customize it towards meeting the various operational requirements. Radars, as I said, in different bands for different use cases, including the coastal domain, different kind of radars have been built. Now, what are the new challenges that are facing us and where we need the support of industry and the young minds sitting behind to come and contribute, work with us? Our focus today is on hypersonic systems, the glide vehicles, the cruise missiles, which will go at more than Mach 5, so that their interception becomes much more difficult. Space-based systems. Space and cyber are the two new frontiers. We need huge capabilities in both these domains, and the capabilities are required as of yesterday. These are high priority area where a lot of work is happening in ensuring ISR capability, PNT capability, space-based surveillance, etc. AI is something that has become all-pervading. Today, students use AI for making their assignments and responding to their project schemes. It has become that much more, I would say, kind of enmeshed with our lives. So wherever feasible, we have already started using AI, of course, there is a man in the loop. We are not looking at autonomous systems in an operational scenario, but take the case of a seeker. We have images and we need to know, and we don't have enough time for a man in the loop to say that this is the right target which I want to home on. So this is where AI helps you to do better identification based on the data sets that it already has and based on the learning. And doing this compute at the edge is what makes it more potent. So AI is something that we are using across our weapon systems. We are also working on a lot of laser-based and high-power microwave systems to engage threats, especially in the area of unmanned aerial vehicles and swarm of unmanned aerial vehicles. These are the new challenges where we will have to look at newer technology. So a lot of work has happened. So 1 kilometer laser-based direct energy kill systems are already inducted, and the higher variants are under various stages of evaluation and induction. Cyber-based capabilities. Today, all our ecosystem, not just defense, you take banking, financial sector, power generation, distribution, everywhere the connecting ICT link is what enables us to perform so efficiently, so effectively. So countering likely threats to these ICT-based systems and the IoTs which are being used across in various domains, this is where a lot of effort is required and a lot of work is already happening. Advanced materials. How do we make our systems smaller, lighter, more, which can work in all kind of environments? Can we use additive manufacturing to print in the field? Can we print spares that are required in the warfare itself? Those are some of the technologies that we are looking at. Quantum sensing, quantum compute, and secure communications. These are some of the use cases. And the atomic clocks which will be required to make sure that we have the sovereign capability in all these domains are some of the areas of work. Of course, stealth and camouflage across all spectrums is another area. So for the students, what are the technology thrust areas? These are some of the technology thrust areas where our 15 centers of excellence in the various academic institutions, plus the directed research that we are funding it. DRDO spends more than 1,000 crores every year funding TRL 1 to 3 research in the technology domains where you will need the output of this science converted into technology in the times to come. So these are some of the areas. The idea is how we can package more and more, how we can make them energy dense, how we can reduce the form factors, and advancements in technologies in these areas is what will help us to achieve that. Coming to the communications and the EW spectrum, how can we make use of the EM spectrum optimally for better capabilities? Can we use multiband antennas? Can we have radars and communication links using the same spectrum? Can we do some sharing of the spectrum? How can we package more and more capability using these technologies? Coming to the devices, compound semiconductors is what we use to make various devices. And a lot of work is happening on devices, semiconductor devices that we need for the defense and space applications. We have our own small fabs which are required for the development purposes and maybe limited series production for what we need for our own immediate requirement. And the last is the soldier support systems. How do we make the life of the soldier in the field more comfortable? What are the technologies that are required to make this happen? That is another very, very strong thrust area for us. So the next generation systems that are in various stages of development, the LCA Mark II with larger ranges, the twin engine deck-based fighter for the Navy, the AWNC Mark II, advanced medium combat aircraft, the light tank, which our friends from Tata spoke about, the future-ready combat vehicle. And to power all these, we need our own indigenous power packs. Propulsion has typically been an area that we have not really looked at. initially, but now there's a lot of work happening for the development of various kind of power packs, both for the land systems as well as in the other domains also. The active protection systems for the armored fighting vehicles, early warning using space to detect incoming ballistic missiles, tracking and engaging and countermeasures for hypersonic threats, quantum cognitive radar. I think Commodore Tripathi spoke about it, and some work is happening in this area also. Space and geospatial. These are again two technologies where a lot of work is happening, and it impacts beyond defense. It is kind of impacting every sphere, be it manufacturing. 2 minutes or 5 minutes? 2 minutes? Okay. Right? So this is how it is impacting. And coming to the defense area, the use of these technologies, geospatial for communication, navigation, using geospatial intelligence, early warning, etc. How DRDO is engaging with the industry? First and foremost is the R&D collaboration. So most of the industry partners, startups, MSME, large-scale industries are working with one or more than one lab for development of various subsystems, technologies, fabrications, and the larger one, what is deliverable to the users, we are getting them as development cum production partners which work with us for various systems. We do the technology transfers for the various systems, and this goes beyond the development partners and the DCPPs. The technology is being shared with other industry partners also. We also support the industry in providing consultancy. A lot of workshops are done by our Director Industry Interface. Summer was a maturity assessment model for the Indian industry which was run by QCI to assess the readiness of Indian industry to produce systems which are required by the Indian Armed Forces, so that when the system goes out from our Indian industry partners, it meets the required quality standards. And of course, TDF, Dare to Dream, was already talked about. So if you look at some of the statistics, out of the 150 DCPPs or production agencies for the systems that are to be delivered, more than 27 private industries are there, 15 DPSUs, and some are, of course, a mixed bag. I talked about the licensing agreements which have been signed, and more than 85% are with the private industry, and roughly 800 plus have been signed in the last 4 years. So you can imagine the kind of work that is happening in ensuring that the industry is ready to productionize. Our TOT fee is nil for our development and production partners, and if you are supplying it to the users, to the government, again it is nil. Only 2% royalties charged on non-government sales and export. We are coming up with a scheme to transfer software source code also to a limited, with a limited capability, so that the industries who are productionizing these systems and who will be maintaining them throughout the life cycle are able to do it on their own. For startups and MSMEs, the access to the test facilities, about 26 labs and more than 350 facilities are open via the Defense Testing Portal. And we also have a Defense Testing and Training Center at Lucknow, where we are helping the young MSMEs and startups to look at doing some rapid prototyping, skilling, technical consultancies. And deposit work is the mechanism whereby if you want to engage with any specific lab for meeting your specific requirements, you can use the deposit works mechanism. So the various test facilities, be it the aeronautical test range for evaluation of unmanned aerial vehicles, or the PXC for doing proof testing, extreme high altitude test lab at beyond Leh, the NCAT facility at Ahmednagar, ballistic testing facility, EMIMC test facilities, all of these and all the details are available on the defense portal, which you can have a look at it. So what's the way forward? How do we make sure that we can move at even greater speed to realize the goal of Aatmanirbhar Bharat, Viksit Bharat by 2047? First and foremost is a whole of nation approach, and this is where seminars like today help bring all stakeholders together to make sure that we are all aligned towards a common objective. Public-private partnership, geospatial backbone where we have centralized platforms and digital twins, work from academia on the frontier technologies, and an integrated strategy wherever technology is moving faster, 5G, 6G communication, bringing it, harnessing it for defense and from defense to the civilian. So my personal belief is that together with the combined efforts of academia, industry, and the stakeholders in the government, we can and we will be able to develop a self-reliant, developed nation in very, very short time frames. I want the student community here to believe in this. Do you believe it? Yes, no? Can I have it louder? Once again. Are you willing to work for it? Sure? How many of you are willing to come and work with DRDO or the armed forces? Please raise your hands. Very good. I look forward to some of you coming, joining us, contribute towards building capabilities in the defense, for the defense. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, madam, for that important presentation of yours. और हम सभी मंचस्थ महानुभाव से विनंती करेंगे कि आप अपना स्थान ग्रहण करें नीचे. Can we have a big round of applause for all of them one more time? Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, ma'am, can you join for the group picture? थैंक यू. देवियों और सज्जनों, अब हम आज के सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सत्र की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं, जो है हमारी पैनल चर्चा. विषय है इम्पोर्ट डिपेंडेंस टू इंडिजिनियस कैपेबिलिटी, बिल्डिंग अ सेल्फ रिलायंट एरोस्पेस एंड डिफेंस इकोसिस्टम. इस चर्चा के संचालन के लिए हम मंच पर आमंत्रित करने जाएंगे श्री कल्पेश वांड्रा, प्रो वीसी राष्ट्रीय रक्षा यूनिवर्सिटी, जो कि इस सत्र के मॉडरेटर होंगे. वेलकम सर. साथ ही हमारे सम्मानित पैनलिस्ट हैं एयर कमोडोर डॉक्टर जयंता कुमार साहू, डायरेक्टर प्रोजेक्ट्स, स्कूल ऑफ इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, डिफेंस एंड स्ट्रेटेजिक स्टडीज RRU. एयर वाइस मार्शल श्री धनंजय खोट, डायरेक्टर स्ट्रैटेजी एंड प्लानिंग इन स्पेस. मिस्टर संदीप सितानी, फाउंडर एंड CEO श्रीराम एरोस्पेस. मिस्टर अर्थ चौधरी, CEO at Inside FPP Drones Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia 2024. Mr. Vipul Vachani, founder and CEO Jaival Aerospace. Mr. Anand Mistry, Senior Deputy General Manager, Project Management and L&T Precision Engineering and Systems, Hazira. Mr. Srinivas K. General, Bharat Electronics Limited. Mr. Anshul Nanavati, Chairman, Defense Task Force, Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We welcome all of you. And I call upon Shri Yagnesh Pavagadi sir, GMDIC Valsad, and MS Bhatia, Industries Officer, to kindly welcome the dignitaries. આપ અહીંયાથી સ્ટાર્ટ કરી શકો સર. Yeah, we would like to welcome you, sir. Thank you very much. Indeed, a pleasure to welcome, and without wasting a moment, I would request our moderator, sir, to take over. Sir, mic will come here. Sir, mic will come here. Sir, you can begin the panel discussion. We request you to kindly be seated as our Defence Minister, Honorable Shri Rajnath Singh, is arriving in very few moments. Very few moments from now. So do not leave your seats, and we humbly request each one of you to be kindly seated. Thank you.
Hello. So very good afternoon to all distinguished guests, fellow speakers, ladies and gentlemen, and all panel members. I, Dr. Kalpesh Vandara, Vice Chancellor of Rashtriya Raksha University, I heartily welcome you on a panel discussion. Now, one by one, I'm just going to ask questions to panel member. The theme of this entire conference and the panel discussion is that Aatmanirbhar Bharat in defense, aerospace defense, and how MSME, academia, and other stakeholders can help to make in India product. Specifically, we are just planning that the Gujarat is a defense corridor for the aerospace and defense equipment. So first of all, I would like to ask Air Vice Marshal Sri Dhananjay Khut, sir. So my question is that, sir, how is the space increasingly shaping the modern warfare, and what role do space assets play in military operation today? Anybody can bring a mic to, sir? Okay.
Very good afternoon to everybody gathered here. And thanks to the government of Gujarat for organizing this conference. Thank you, Chair, for the question. So the question deals with modern warfare and how space is influencing it. So just to orient the audience here, the first presence in space was that of the military. And this was way back in the Second World War, and the first object to cross over the Kármán line, above which we call it space, was a German V-2 bomb, which is the precursor of the surface-to-surface missile. And then came the Cold War. And the Cold War was all about nuclear delivery and so development of missiles, which all went through space. So detection of those missiles in space. So that was how the Cold War shaped military presence and military applications in the space domain. And then in the first Gulf War of 1991 was when the whole world saw a maturing of space power and space capabilities through three principal functionalities that even today dictate how we do military work through space. First was Earth observation, next was satellite communications, and third was satellite navigation. So the GPS, which was in its infancy at the time of that Gulf War, still actually ended up shaping so many things. So if you look at what's happening today and what's happened over the last 30 years, is that these technologies, which are remote sensing or Earth observation, satellite communications and satellite navigation, which have matured hugely from those times. And if you look at what happened in Operation Sindoor, so much of it was determined by the ability to know what the enemy is doing, where the enemy is, which essentially means gathering intelligence through space. This intelligence is gathered through various different ways of imaging and also through electronic surveillance. So these are the kind of satellites which sense in these various different spectra, which can be electro-optical, which gives you an image like a photograph, which can be synthetic aperture radar, which can look through clouds or through rain, hyperspectral, thermal or infrared, which gives you the heat signature of what's happening. So that's kind of sensing that gives you intelligence. Then there is satellite communication, which bridges communication to remote areas, to inaccessible areas, to ships and aircraft, to drones. So a lot of the drone control takes place through satellite communications. And location-based services is also called PNT, positioning, navigation, and timing. This is what satellite navigation gives us. So these three things dominate how we do warfare on the surface and in the air today. So a lesson that was learned during the Gulf War was that who dominates space dominates the surface. So that's how today space is influencing things. And because of the nature of this conference, I must point out that a big difference that has happened over the last 20 to 30 years is the entry of the private sector into even the military aspects of space. And you might have heard that in the Russia-Ukraine war and so on and so forth, Starlink, which is a private company, actually enabled a lot of operations in, for the Ukrainian side, and so on and so forth.
Thank you, sir. Now, the next question for Mr. Sandeep Satani, founder and CEO of Sriram Aerospace. Sir, how can Gujarat integrate MSMEs and startup into the defense supply chain while maintaining the quality and the security standards? Because everyone would like to know this in the same domain answer.
Thank you very much for inviting us and providing this opportunity. MSMEs and startup can play a very vital role in developing this technology and supplying maintaining the supply chain. So some critical areas I would like to highlight. We need to follow the quality standard AS9100. Parallelly, we need to maintain all the protocols like traceabilities, FODs, IT securities, data securities. These basic things we need to apply, and in Gujarat, highest level of SMEs and MSMEs are there. They are manufacturing the critical small parts and large parts, and parallelly all the ecosystem is developing, and Gujarat can be a key supplier, key part of the supply chain for the aerospace and defense domain in coming decades.
Thank you. Because when we discuss about the aerospace defense, at that time, the quality and the standards, I can say that the international, the global standards, we have to maintain it that. Thank you, sir. Now, next question to Air Commando J.K. Sahu, sir. So now I just divert to the academic part kind of role. So, sir, I would like to ask you that what role can academic institute like Rashtriya Raksha University play in supporting the skill development, research and development, and innovation in the defense sector?
Thank you so much, sir. A very good afternoon to everyone here. Before answering this question, that what role Rashtriya Raksha University can play, I just want to bring out three important contests. The first one, as you have heard in the previous, by the previous speakers, that today the scenario of war has changed. Now today the war has become so much of dynamic, the decision making and the technology integrations has become very quick. It has gone are those days when you took almost years to integrate a system from the lab to the battlefield. But today what is happening, if you can see what is happening in Ukraine, from the lab to the battlefield, it is taking days. So we need to now integrate our academies here to do this migration. The second contest I want to bring it out, that what is our ambitions of India. Now, as you know, we have already reached up our defense production to almost 1.9 lakh crore. Our exports has gone up to 38,240 crores, and with an aim that we'll be reaching almost 50,000 crore. So in one way, with the technology is moving fast. The second way is we aim to enhance our different production and export. The third important things, what the government has done it, to facilitate both the things, they have created 7 key challenges. Out of the 7 key challenges, the Gujarat has been given a challenge of skill development and the creating a linkage between academia and the industry. When you talk about Gujarat, this is, along with the Gujarat, we also have been integrated to Orissa, Bihar, and Himachal Pradesh in this agenda. And we have IIT Gandhinagar, we have IIT Bhubaneswar, IIT Mandi, and Rashtriya Raksha University, which has been now onto this mission of skill development and to enhance, brings the linkage between the industry and technology. As you know, the Rashtriya Raksha University, an institution of national importance, is basically focusing on the entire spectrums of the security aspects, and defense area is also one of them. What we are trying to focus, right from the induction. So what we say, it is pre-service, in-service, and post-service. When I say pre-service, what we are trying to focus is, we are trying to develop the students through various curriculum. We have BA, BSc, BTech programs. So basically to build up into the workforce, into the defense, they can join armed forces, they can become also the technocrats. And then when you talk about in-service, we are conducting a large number of courses where we want to integrate the technology into this curriculum. And when you talk about the post-services, the people who are retiring, we are conducting various courses so that we are make them those experienced soldiers ready for the industries. So while in one aspect we are working towards the complete human resource development, we are also been at Rashtriya Raksha University, been working towards the technology development. We have 2 institutions, one is Sastra and other is Atal Incubation Center. Now these 2 institutions are also helping our MSME, our startups. We are incubating startups, we are developing them, and we are doing an hand holding so that they can take up these projects. Like we have the DRDO directors has recently brought it out. There are so many projects available. So we are actually facilitating them. So at Rashtriya Raksha University, so it is the entire spectrum we are doing. And the third of it, we are creating a strategic thinkers. Basically, we are facilitating the defense officers and the people to do a research. Because today, in the war scenario, it is everybody need not to be a technocrat, need not to innovate. There are people who require to manage. So we are conducting various courses where they can integrate into the entire process, because the ultimate aim is to become indigenous. Ultimate aim is to enhance our production. So these are the broad spectrums what we are doing at Rashtriya Raksha University, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. And just one announcement. Just in 5 minutes, our Honorable Union Minister, as I said before, is arriving. So it's a humble request, do not leave your place. And I request those officers who are on duty to kindly allow our other people who want to come in and join this seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So now, next question to Mr. Arth Chaudhary, CEO of Inside FPV Drones. Sir, my question is, how can emerging technologies such as AI, drone, and space-based system be integrated into the Gujarat defense manufacturing roadmap? Because nowadays, everyone's are thinking about this, the cyber warfare and electronic warfare, and the role of drones and these advanced technologies plays a very, very, very important role. So I expect that.
Right. So hi, everyone. This is Arth. So just to start with, we have started our journey from our college incubator, and till now, from the innovation to also to a production stage, we have developed it at such a scale that recently during an EP order, we delivered the order in 2 months, which is usually a case where companies deliver the order in like 6 to 8 months. So how these things can be integrated is with a cluster where we can have companies, global OEMs, incubators, policy makers, all at a one place. And we have seen states doing it. Telangana, UP have created that kind of defense corridors, and that can be same replicated here in Gujarat. And with that said, we obviously have a mechanical and hardware manufacturing, which is across Rajkot, Anand, Gujarat, Surat, so Ahmedabad. And that same thing can be replicated with it, where we can have a single window system where usually we see that in manufacturing specifically where there is an innovation, specifically like drones or space, we see a lot of young innovators, and going through a paper system, which is usually an outdated system for a young innovators, it is usually a time-taking process. So with that said, if that could be done something where a digital, where a single window system for a single approval for even an industrial land or even an plug and play manufacturing space could be done, that would be very helpful for startups to grow and incubate and eventually grow into a player where they are supplying drones as a fully fledged product to Indian Army. So these are the few steps, and obviously the policy has been revolving in such a manner that it's all beneficial to the companies who are coming up in Gujarat. But even the execution, if that could be worked faster, that is something which could help all the startups coming into defense and specifically in Gujarat. And obviously with the help of ma'am and DRDO, what ma'am said, this is something where Gujarat can play a big role in defense manufacturing. Thank you.
Absolutely. Because the MSMEs and the persons like you, the young innovators, because youngsters from the different education sectors, academics, they are ready to work on this kind of technologies, and we have to provide the right platform to them. And definitely with the new education policy, even if with education and as well as industrial policy, which recently Gujarat government has announced that, which will very well helpful to initiate this task. Now, I have one more question to Mr. Vipul sir, Vachani ji. What are the key infrastructures and logistical requirements for the establishing a robust defense manufacturing corridor in Gujarat?
Thank you. I think listening to various officials, Air Force, DRDO this morning, let's understand what's required first. So I'm pretty old, 55. When we were growing up, we were thinking of supplying parts or components. What is needed today, and what I hear, ma'am, correct me if I'm wrong, is companies that can supply subsystems, can take on responsibility for design and build, can take on responsibility of qualifying those subsystems. I think that would accelerate what Air Force is requiring, what DRDO is requiring significantly. So let's put the infrastructure requirement in that context. In terms of component ecosystem, it's fantastic. It's a very good component ecosystem. If you go step before, design and development ecosystem, fast emerging. We are talking about young people. Over past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of startups. Fantastic, I'm scared of them. They are the real competition. They are way ahead of the time. Thank God I'm going to retire in a few years. So design and development is one topic where there are gaps, and that gaps need to be bridged. The second topic is the test and validation infrastructure. There are policy provisions for various test and validation infrastructures for larger systems. But if I make a small assembly in my factory, I don't know where to go and test it or where to go and qualify it. So those two are core infrastructural gaps if we can bridge. The second topic I would cover is primarily focused towards the startup. That's where the real energy is. And it's very difficult when you just have an idea, not a proven track record, to find a space to work from. Just a desk, a good environment, and 4 or 5 young kids can sit down with their computers and develop that idea further. We call it incubation centers, and there are a lot of incubation centers developing in various universities. If you can make that as a universally available facility, that would accelerate things. There may be a time limit that you go there, work for 2 years. If it's worked, fine, great. Otherwise, you can come out. If you have succeeded, then move on to the more commercially available premises. So these are the 2 core infrastructural topics I would say would make a significant difference.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, I would like to ask you, because right now there are so many startup and incubation centers, all the academic organizations are just initiating, I can say that. So if I talk about the DRDO, so what are the biggest challenge observed while working with the startup, and how can startup better be prepared themselves to collaborate effectively?
I think the biggest challenge for our young startups is the L1 process, right? In the government of India, everything, every acquisition, be it a development contract, fabrication, or an outright buy, everything is determined by the L1 process. And that is sometimes where our startups, if they're competing, if the tenders are open to everyone, be it a startup, MSME, or a large industry player, that is where startups are at a disadvantage. So, following the ANRF scheme, for the deep tech areas, we are proposing to come up with the scheme where for specific niche technology areas, respective labs can engage only with the startups in those specific areas. So that is a proposal that we have put up to the ministry, and Honorable RM has in principle given a go-ahead. It is in the final stages. So it will have an impact in all the 3 stages. Pre, where they don't have to compete with the big players for specific technologies. It will help them obviate the valley of death syndromes, where most of the startups, because there is no hand-holding and no translation from the idea towards a product, kind of gets lost. And even after development, if they're a part of the development of specific technology, those technologies get converted into subsystems or components, and they become a part of the supply chain of the lead industry, which is producing it and supplying it to the armed forces. So I'm hopeful that this specific challenge of L1 we'll be able to obviate with the new startup policy that is likely to come soon.
Thank you, ma'am. So next question to Mr. Anand Mistry. Yes, sir. So in the context of defense corridor, how viable is Gujarat as the complementary or alternative model for the existing corridors?
So first of all, thank you very much for organizing this program, and thank you for having me here. When you talk about defense and Gujarat, first of all, before I answer you, all of you know Ops Sindoor, and I think we have sent few systems from Gujarat, and many of you who are sitting here have worked on those systems, delivered the parts, and they were very successful systems used during Ops Sindoor. So congratulations to all of you, and all of you needs a loud applause. When you talk about defense and these systems, we have to recognize those systems who are realized with the help of DRDO. A lot of R&D effort goes into it. Those are the big systems developed over a period of time, years together. And today we have Chandrika madam with us, and he herself, she's sitting with us. That's a partial answer of your question. So a big clap for Chandrika madam. She made it possible. So when we talk about complementary, I say that Gujarat is a complementary to the having a potential of complementing to the corridor for defense hub. A lot of things support Gujarat. When we talk about Gujarat defense, Gujarat has excellent industry base. We have steel, we have machining, we have industry around us with automobile parts. We manufacture everything which is seen all around us, and you will see all those type of industry in Gujarat. We have excellent roads, transport, railway, air connect, excellent Gujarat government policies, I will say, which help industry to do a business in a much easier, with much easier efforts. You need talent, and we have a lot of universities around Gujarat. With all that, you see today, such programs are happening in Gujarat, and a cultural city of Vadodara, where cultural innovation, Gujarat industrial effort, when it combines, it's all about defense. And Gujarat is contributing in a big way. Also, you see the big companies around you, a uniformed people are sitting with you today. You are going to receive exam entry very soon on this platform. And all this is happening in Gujarat, in Vadodara. That's a proof that this is a vibrant place, and a lot of things are going to happen in Gujarat. Thank you.
Thank you. You rightly said that. Now, next question to Mr. Srinivas K, the General Manager, Bharat Electronics Limited. So, how can India strengthen its testing, assessment, and certification ecosystem to meet the global standard and reduce the dependence on the foreign validation system? This is the key requirement of, if you want to serve, if you want to succeed, please.
Good afternoon to all. True self-reliance is not only just indigenous design and manufacturing, it also requires the validation and proving what our product is made. So in this regard, we need to establish a world-class test evaluation centers. Both DRDO has got many facilities, and DPSUs from Bharat Electronics and BDL, HL and other DPSUs, we have come up and we have provided a lot of facilities. I'm happy to share that under DTS scheme, 4 labs, Bharat Electronics and HL, another 4 labs have come up. The testing and infrastructure facility, 2 at Tamil Nadu for electronic warfare and also electro-optics, and 2 in Kanpur for the communication and unmanned systems. So they are almost in the final stage. They'll be ready to be inaugurated shortly in a couple of months. So that is one part. But still, we need to have, apart from that, developing this, establishing these centers, we need to create the certifications agencies also, so that their world recognition is there. And thirdly, now with this era, digital era, we need to have these digital twins, we need to develop digital twins and the AA model for virtual certification. Not only the physical, even virtual certification is required, because it will reduce a lot of development verification time and also the testing cost also. And thirdly, we need to promote common infrastructure, because all people are developing so many infrastructure. We need to have a common, we should avoid this duplicacy so that it can be funded at one place and full range facilities can be made. And similarly, we need to strengthen all the ecosystem.
For example, Bharat Electronics alone, almost 189 test facilities we are giving as access to all the ecosystem, all the private industries. And so, like this, we need to have a further testing facility has to be made so that both not only system and also because testing validation is also important, it has to be under our control. Only then will be truly Aatmanirbhar. Thank you.
So, thank you, Srinivas sir. As you rightly said that, and as we are knowing that the DRDO is always helping us that to establish this testing and validation kind of the new technical innovations, I can say that. So this is the global to meet the global standard. As you rightly said that, if you have to keep it one centralized, one locations where everyone have a easy to access, and even if you rightly said that the twins of the due to the new technology enhancement that you can just design a twins of the real product and you can virtually test that product, and that if you have succeeded that, or if is there any challenge you come that, so you try to solve in the virtual platform first that, and then you can just design that particular parts, and then you go for the real manufacturing. So it saves the cost and time both. And really, it's a really good suggestion. So now one more question to Anshul Nanavati sir. So how can Gujarat integrate MSMEs and startup into the defense supply chain while maintaining, sorry, I question already asked to you that. My question is once again that, what specific steps can Gujarat's industry bodies and chambers take or already have taken to actively support export-oriented defense manufacturing and improve the market access for the local firms?
Good afternoon, everyone. Representing the Chamber of Commerce, and so your question I'll answer both because and being the last, I don't want to take more time. Gujarat has a very credible image for NFSU, RRU. These labs are booked. I would say overbooked. There is a need for many testing labs to come up in Gujarat. Another thing is, it's the 80-20 ratio. You have 20%, which is L&T, Tata, the big guys, and they contribute to 80% of the revenues. But you have 80% of the people who are in startups and MSMEs. So neither can be avoided or ignored. What I would recommend to DRDO will appreciate this. Gujarat government will appreciate this. My fellow industry members might not appreciate it, but I would suggest that Gujarat government should not give subsidy to any company who does not get their checklist right. Get registered in Summer portal, get IS 9001 approved, get mill standards, get SEMILAC, get DGA QA, get DGACA, as many certifications in their industry as possible. That will give a lot of credibility when a company is coming from Gujarat. It would be initially very difficult, but that would help a lot of people in the government as well as defense. Coming to your next question, it was regarding how the chamber can help. Chamber has been, we are a supplier to defense since our company has been a supplier since last 4 decades or more. And we were not a part of chamber or any government body earlier. I noticed after joining that the government, it becomes like a noisy classroom if everyone from the industry stands up and starts talking. So the chamber helps avoid this, and the government gives a patient hearing to people when they come from associations, from chambers. And recently, it's become opposite. We are getting more calls from the government saying, we are launching this policy. Please get all your inputs ready. So it's very helpful with the Gujarat government now. Thank you, sir. I hope both the questions have been.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Union Minister, Sir, Defense Minister, is arriving. I request everyone to rise from the seats in order to welcome him. आइए तालियों की गूंज के साथ हम स्वागत करते हैं हमारे माननीय केंद्रीय रक्षा मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह साहब की। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर आज के इस विशेष अवसर पर, विशेष सत्र में। पुनः एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ उनका स्वागत करते हैं। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। और हम साथ में स्वागत करते हैं मैडम ममता वर्मा, ACS इंडस्ट्रीज माइंस एंड डिपार्टमेंट। आइए उनका भी स्वागत करें। You can kindly take your seats, please. Thank you very much. And in order to welcome sir in this August gathering, I request Mamta Verma madam to kindly welcome our Honorable Defense Minister, Shri Rajnath Singh Saab. बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आज के इस विशेष अवसर पर। आज एक ऐतिहासिक दिवस है। To cement this momentum with economic resolve, we now executed the strategic MOU ceremony. The exchange will happen in the august presence of our Honorable Union Defense Minister, sir. And foremost, we would like to call on stage Mr. Sumit Agarwal from Dinesh Chandra Defense Systems Private Limited, committing an investment of 800 crores in Kheda for advanced defense product manufacturing. And I request Shri Amit Prakash Yadav, the Additional Industries Commissioner, sir, to kindly exchange the MOU in the presence of our dignitaries. 800 करोड़ का निवेश है और 1500 से ज़्यादा employment opportunities श्री दिनेश चंद्र डिफेंस सिस्टम्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड देने वाली है। तब आज के इस सुअवसर पर जब अब हम बुलाना चाहेंगे श्री राम एरोस्पेस एंड डिफेंस LLP से श्री संदीप सितानी, signing an investment of 150 crores for Rajkot and specializing in the manufacturing of aerospace. Please, you can do the honors. Aerospace tooling, engine and structural components, UAV systems, space application hardware and MRO. And 300 plus employment generation will happen. बहुत बहुत तालियां. Many congratulations and best wishes. We now move to Khodiyar Heavy Engineering Private Limited. I would like to call upon stage Shri Harikant Parmar, and they have the investment of 100 crores and employment generation of almost 250 employees. They will be in defense equipment, heavy fabrication and machining work. बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। इसके बाद हम बुलाना चाहेंगे Mr. Kevin Narola from SRK Tektronix, and they will be investing 1,500 crores, lot of employment generation in a new age electronic system design and manufacturing company. Many, many congratulations. A total investment of 2,250 crores is being done today. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सभी महानुभाव का धन्यवाद। आप अपना स्थान ग्रहण कर सकते हैं। हम सब उत्सुकता से इंतजार कर रहे थे देश की सीमाओं की सुरक्षा और रक्षा क्षेत्र में आत्मनिर्भरता के सबसे बड़े प्रणेता हमारे माननीय केंद्रीय डिफेंस मंत्री गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी। वे आज यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं। तब सर हम आपके समक्ष कुछ सुझाव रखने जा रहे हैं और आपका मार्गदर्शन चाहेंगे। सो वी ओपन द फ्लोर फॉर सर्टेन सजेशंस। यस, kindly help anyone. अपनी टीम में से कोई हेल्प कर सकता है प्लीज? थोड़ा जल्दी। ओके।
नमस्ते सर, मैं अंशराज गजेरा हूँ, लघु उद्योग भारती गुजरात प्रदेश के जनरल सेक्रेटरी हूँ। और अभी जो बात करूँगा मैं यहाँ गुजरात के 11 लाख से भी ज़्यादा MSME है, उसकी ओर से मैं एक बात करना चाहता हूँ। हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर, डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर ममता वर्मा जी, पी स्वरूप साहब और इंडस्ट्रीज के डिपार्टमेंट के संपर्क साहब और ये नील सीमाड़ जी, सबकी ओर से ये 4th VGRC होने को जा रहा है और डिफेंस की ओर से ये 4th सेमिनार है। इसके अलावा भी हमने यहाँ 5 से भी ज़्यादा डिफेंस रिलेटेड सेमिनार किया है। उसमें सब एक्सपर्ट, MSME, स्टार्टअप ये सब शामिल होते हैं। और सबकी ओर से ये जनरल सुझाव ये आता है कि हमारे गुजरात में जो इतनी पोटेंशियलिटी है और सबको ये डिफेंस के साथ जोड़ने की एक जो अंदर तलब है, तो यहाँ अगर डिफेंस कॉरिडोर, एक डिफेंस PSUs और DRDO जो आए इधर, तो बहुत ये दोनों के लिए विन विन सिचुएशन होगा। और इसके लिए हमारा ये प्रयास जो हमारे सब ने यहाँ जो डिमांड किया तो लघु उद्योग भारती की ओर से मैंने हमारे सभी MSCs और MPs और हमारे इंडस्ट्रीज कमिश्नर, चीफ मिनिस्टर, सबको भी हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया है जो आपको मिलके ये हमारी डिमांड पूरी करे। धन्यवाद। और सर हम एक लघु उद्योग भारती से एक मोमेंटम आएगा, आप परमिशन दे तो मोमेंटम आपको हम दे।
ठीक है, ले लेंगे बाद में।
थैंक यू सर।
सर नेक्स्ट हम सजेशन करना चाहेंगे। अच्युत, कैन वी हेल्प द नेक्स्ट? सर यू वर टू आस्क। यस
सर, मेरा नाम प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर कल्पेश वंड्रा है, प्रो वाइस चांसलर राष्ट्रीय रक्षा यूनिवर्सिटी। प्रोफेसर कल्पेश वंड्रा, या प्रो वाइस चांसलर राष्ट्रीय रक्षा यूनिवर्सिटी। सर मेरा सुझाव ये है कि आप आगामी दशक में एरोस्पेस और रक्षा क्षेत्र में भारत की व्यापक आत्मनिर्भर भारत रणनीति के तहत गुजरात की भूमिका को कैसे देखते हैं?
वैसे आप ये एरोस्पेस में गुजरात की एक का रोल कैसे देखते हैं, ये तो आप भी अपने सुझाव देंगे ना। वैसे मैं सारे यंगस्टर्स यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं, सबसे मैं यही कहूँगा कि आपके कोई ऐसे सुझाव हों जो आप देना चाहते हों भारत को औद्योगिक दृष्टि से आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए, अथवा डिफेंस सेक्टर में भारत कैसे सेल्फ रिलायंट बने, कैसे आत्मनिर्भर बने, उस दृष्टि से आपके कोई सुझाव हों, मैं समझता हूं कि उसका स्वागत है। और यदि आवश्यक हुआ मुझे कुछ बोलने के लिए, कुछ अपनी बात कहने की आवश्यकता हुई तो मैं करूंगा। मैंने आप गवर्नमेंट से क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, क्या हमसे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा।
हेलो सर, इसमें हम ये चाहते हैं कि इसकी जो टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी, असेसमेंट और सर्टिफिकेशन इकोसिस्टम जो है, वो जो ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड से मीट करनी है हमें, टू डिज़ाइन दिस मेक इन इंडिया इंडिजिनियस प्रोडक्ट ऑफ एरो डिफेंस, तो इसके लिए एक सिंगल सेंटर, इजी टू एक्सेस और लोगों को बहुत ही कम इन्वेस्टमेंट में ये टेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी मिले, तो सब MSc और जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करना चाहते हैं क्षेत्र में, तो उनके लिए बहुत ही सहज और उपयोगी होगा ये।
अच्छा रहेगा। और
Any other person? Because I have a 2-3 suggestion. तो
Sir, yes, I have a suggestion, sir. Good afternoon, sir. मेरा नाम नील वैद है and I am a startup founder for अमरुद डिफेंस। हमारी कंपनी इंडियन डिफेंस के लिए ड्रोन्स बनाती है। सर एक हम्बल सजेशन है कि इंडियन आर्मी या इंडियन डिफेंस खुद में ही एक बहुत बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। जैसे कि हम जैसे स्टार्टअप्स को कभी कभार स्टार्टिंग में नहीं समझ में आता है कि हम इन्फेंट्री को, मैकेनाइज्ड इन्फेंट्री को, कि किन को अप्रोच करें हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए, हु आर द एक्चुअल एंड यूजर्स और द प्रोक्योरमेंट डिवीजन। तो अगर वो चीज़ में थोड़ा सा सिंप्लीफाइड मैनर हो सकता है तो काफ़ी स्टार्टअप्स को ये बहुत हेल्प हो जाएगी फ्यूचर में।
वैसे समय समय पर जो हमारे स्टार्टअप्स हैं और डिफेंस से रिलेटेड स्टार्टअप्स हैं, उनके साथ मैं मिलता रहता हूं। और उनके साथ मेरा इंटरेक्शन भी होता है। उनकी क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, उनके क्या चैलेंजेज हैं, इसकी जानकारी भी मुझे मिलती है। और हमारे साथ साथ उस समय सारे हमारे ऑफिसर्स, सारे सीनियर ऑफिसर्स भी मौजूद रहते हैं। जो भी आवश्यक हुआ, जो इंस्ट्रक्शन देना चाहिए, ज़रूरत होती है तो सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस भी मैं देता हूँ। तो मैं समझता हूँ डिफेंस से रिलेटेड स्टार्टअप्स के साथ आपके भी रिश्ते होंगे, संबंध होंगे, और ऐसे जब भी कार्यक्रम होते हैं तो आप आ सकते हैं। और मैं तो कहता हूँ छोड़िए, नहीं होता है कोई कॉन्फ्रेंस, नहीं होती है मीटिंग, आप स्टार्टअप के रूप में सीधे डिफेंस मिनिस्टर का समय यदि लेना चाहेंगे तो समय भी मैं देने को तैयार हूँ, मैं देता हूँ लोगों को।
Thank you so much, sir. It will be great help. Thank you, sir.
हम माननीय रक्षा मंत्री महोदय के समय को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक आखिरी सलाह, ये आखिरी सजेशन और ले सकते हैं सर, कोई देना चाहे?
बोलिए बोलिए। कपड़ा,
सबसे पहले त्रिशूल जो अपना मिसाइल है उसके लिए हमने कपड़ा बनाया था अबाउट 25 years ago। उनके साथ में बैठ के हमारा एक प्रस्ताव है कि बेसिक रॉ मटेरियल्स जो हिंदुस्तान में होने चाहिए वो नहीं है, जैसे कि फाइबर ग्लास, एरामिड, कार्बन एंड अभी क्वार्ट्ज, क्योंकि हम कपड़े में हैं तो वी आई विल टॉक अबाउट टेक्सटाइल्स ओनली। तो ये जो अगर बेसिक इंडस्ट्री कोई लगाए बड़ा आदमी विथ लॉट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, then we will be really Aatmanirbhar. Thank you.
अच्छा सुझाव है, गुड सजेशन। हाँ, लेकिन उसको भी विदेशों की सहायता लेनी पड़ेगी, लेकिन धीरे धीरे हम बिल्कुल इंडिपेंडेंट हो जाएंगे, सेल्फ रिलायंट हो जाएंगे हम। ठीक है, गुड सजेशन।
धन्यवाद माननीय रक्षा मंत्री महोदय, और धन्यवाद सभी उपस्थित जनों का। आपने बहुत क्वालिटी सलाह,
मुझे लगता है कि नौजवानों का यह कार्यक्रम आपने लंच आवर में रख लिया, इसलिए मैं देख रहा हूँ चेहरे पर नहीं तो ये तो बहुत बोलते हैं सर। वैसे डिफेंस में के स्टार्टअप कितने हैं, जरा हाथ उठाइए इसमें। 8-10-15 हैं लोग, हाँ, बहुत अच्छा, वेरी गुड। वैसे डिफेंस ही नहीं, मेरे दूसरे सेक्टर्स में भी जो काम करने वाले हैं उसके लिए हमारे जो यहाँ पर स्टार्टअप्स हैं, वैसे हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने सभी को इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रखे हैं, और सभी मिनिस्ट्रीज अपने यहाँ तरह तरह के इनोवेशंस, तरह तरह के कार्यक्रम वो ले रही हैं। तो आप लोगों को संपर्क करना चाहिए उन लोगों से भी। कोई नहीं मिलता है तो मुझे बतलाओ, मैं संपर्क करा दूंगा। कोई प्रॉब्लम है? नहीं है? चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय रक्षा मंत्री महोदय। अब मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी माननीय ममता वर्मा मैडम को फॉर वोट ऑफ थैंक्स। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय रक्षा मंत्री महोदय, आपका कीमती समय हमें प्रदान करने के लिए। धन्यवाद। अभी हम रक्षा के क्षेत्र में उत्कृष्ट प्रदर्शन करने के लिए हमारे 7 स्टार्टअप्स को यहाँ पर फेलिसिटेट करेंगे। मैं आमंत्रित करता हूँ गौरव दोषी को, एजिस एडवांस्ड कोटिंग LLP, who is partner there. Please come on stage, and I also invite Shri Yadav sir to felicitate the startup. मैं निवेदन करूंगा सभी प्रतिभागियों से कृपया अपने कीमती समय से 5 मिनट और निकालकर बैठे रहें जब तक हम स्टार्टअप्स को फेलिसिटेट करते हैं। केवल 5 मिनट लगेंगे आपके। धन्यवाद। अभी मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं श्री नीलवेद, डायरेक्टर अमृत डिफेंस इनोवेटिव टेक्नोलॉजीज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड को, कृपया मंच पर उपस्थित हैं। इनके पश्चात मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं श्री भवदीप नकुम जी को, डायरेक्टर स्टेला आर्ट इंजीनियरिंग प्राइवेट लिमिटेड से। हाँ, अब मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं श्री शुभम मिश्रा, नेशनल हेड एंड क्वालिटी मैनेजर, डॉक्टर डॉन इंडस्ट्रीज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड से। तत्पश्चात मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं श्री हर्ष जोशी, फाउंडर क्लाइजेंट एरोस्पेस से। उनके पश्चात मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं श्री केविन नरोला, SRK टेक्नोट्रिक्स को, कृपया मंच पर उपस्थित हों। तत्पश्चात श्री रजत लांबा, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर HNL सिस्टम्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड। प्लीज। आप सभी ने अपना कीमती समय और एफर्ट निकालकर यहाँ पर उपस्थित हुए। इस कार्यक्रम के अंत में मैं धन्यवाद ज्ञापन हेतु आमंत्रित करता हूँ श्री नील श्रीमाली सर, जॉइंट डायरेक्टर जॉइंट टेक्निकल एडवाइज़र, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात। प्लीज़ सर।
नमस्कार सर। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने जो हमें आह्वान दिया है कि आत्मनिर्भर इन डिफेंस सेक्टर्स, उसके अंतर्गत गुजरात सरकार ने जो ये वर्कशॉप आयोजित किया था, उसमें अपना कीमती समय निकाल के आने वाले मंच पर उपस्थित सारे गणमान्य अतिथि, सारे MSMEs, स्टार्टअप्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स, मैं गुजरात सरकार की ओर से आपका खुद दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ कि आपने यहाँ पे आके अपना जो समय निकाल के जो हमें अपने इनपुट्स दिए हैं, जो सुझाव दिए हैं, वो भी हमारे वॉलंटियर्स ने कैप्चर किए हैं और उस पे हम आत्मनिर्भर भारत में गुजरात में जो डिफेंस सेक्टर को मजबूत करने के लिए जो इनपुट्स आपने दिए हैं, उसके अंतर्गत हम भी काम करेंगे। साथ में मिलके हम एक गुजरात में संरक्षण क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ाने का प्रयत्न करेंगे। थैंक यू। जय जय गरवी गुजरात। जय हिंद।
माननीय पैनलिस्ट, आप स्टेज पर ही रहें। ग्रुप फोटो।